to my audience analysis, over half of you don't believe that marijuana should be legalized. What I want to ask all of you is, what is your legit opinion? Why do you really believe marijuana should not be legalized? The reason marijuana is not legalized is because, just like gay rights, it's been an idea that was created a long time ago that has just generation after generation been, everybody talked about it. It's always been illegal. That's how it's planning on staying. But really, there's no argument as to why marijuana should be illegal. I mean, marijuana has many, cures a lot of things. Marijuana can cure glaucoma, which there is no cure for glaucoma other than marijuana. So here I am to explain why, a couple reasons why I think marijuana should be legalized. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to talk about tax revenue. As we all know, the U.S. is in a great amount of debt, especially state debt, individual debt. Colorado was in a great amount of debt until they decided to legalize marijuana. Marijuana brings in Colorado, $700 million a year in tax revenue. Colorado is now actually in the problem of they have too much money. They don't know what to do with their money. The NFL, as we all know, is a billion-dollar bank-making business. Individually, NFL football players make millions of dollars just by themselves. If marijuana is legalized, the marijuana business is supposedly supposed to be 3 times larger than the NFL business. That's an amazing amount of money that would probably take care of most of our debt. Now, last year, September 2014, in Colorado, recreational sales exceeded medical sales greatly, which that means more people were smoking marijuana just because they wanted to, not for medical reasons. Because of that, that is supposed to make up for all the money that's lost in the black market. The black market is anything that's sold without taxes. So marijuana, the tax revenue on marijuana is making up for all the taxes that we are not getting out of the black market. And that's saving us billions and billions of dollars. And like I said, Colorado is now in a problem of what do they do with all their money. This is all according to the documentary called A Normal Life, which is an awesome documentary over tax revenue and all the money things that have to do with marijuana. Okay, so here in my audience analysis, over half of you don't even know the different types of marijuana. So here I'm going to explain. So there's 3 different types. Sativa is an outdoor type. It's an outdoor leaf. It's usually like right here, long and skinny. It's more of like an energy high. You're awake and you're ready to, you're ready to go do stuff. As indica is grown indoors, it has short little fat leaves, and that is more of like a relaxed, sleepy high. That's what, if you're doing it for medical reasons, you're going to want to give this to somebody who has insomnia or something like that. This one, I don't know how to pronounce honestly, but that one nobody really talks about because it's the leaf that has the lowest amount of THC, which THC is the oil in weed that gets you high. So this one, isn't a very popular leaf because there's no point since it doesn't get you high. This is just an example of the different prices. We can go up to $30 a gram, which, a gram is what you're usually going to buy in one sitting. So we can get pretty expensive, especially if you're putting taxes on weed. That's just more money for the government, which why would the government not want money? Government seems money hungry, really, but they're not going to legalize something that would bring in billions and billions in tax revenue. Okay, this is just like a little thing trying to explain to you the medical, what medical reasons of things. So THC is the common oil that everybody knows about in weed, so that's just what I'm going to explain. Smoking marijuana that has THC in it, which most all of it does, can work as a pain reliever, reduces vomiting and nausea, and reduces contractions in your small intestine. And those are just a few examples of what the THC can help you do. Okay, these are some oils that can be put in. These are not naturally put in weed, but you can put them in there if you're trying to, cure something. Like, for example, an oil called apinine, which is also found in pine needles. Like what I'm trying to explain is weed is an all-natural thing. It's not man-made. That's why I don't see any reason as to why it should be illegal. It's grown out of the ground. And these are all natural oils. These all can be found in weed, and they're all found in natural things like pine needles and lavender and stuff like that. And they can work as an inflammatory, aids memory, all sorts of stuff. So there's a lot of medical reasoning behind smoking marijuana. These are just, this example of sativa weed and indica weed. Sativa, like Bubba Kush, is going to make you happy, hungry, or relaxed and all that. And then sativa is the sour diesel, which is more of like a happy type of high. It just depends on what type of high you want to get. There's a bunch of different types of weed that you can smoke to give you a different high. Everybody's different. Everyone's what they want. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the comparison of weed to our animal deaths, which would be alcohol as the great argument. Okay, so as you can see, tobacco, which would be cigarettes, as most of us all know, kills up to 435,000 people a year. That is a great number of people, and that is legal at 18 years old. That 18 is still pretty young, and that is legal for 18-year-olds to buy tobacco, which can kill you and cause many different cancers. Well, marijuana, which has caused literally 0 deaths, natural marijuana has caused literally 0 deaths, but is not legal. Alcohol has caused up to 37,000 annual deaths a year just from alcohol. And alcohol causes you to be violent sometimes. Everybody's different really, but alcohol can cause violence. And actually 25 to 30% of violent crimes are caused because of alcohol. And alcohol is perfectly illegal. You're 21, you can buy alcohol, even though alcohol causes obviously many more deaths than marijuana. And actually marijuana is safer than peanuts, because peanut allergy is actually a growing thing, and peanuts have caused at least 100 deaths a year, and marijuana has caused 0. We as Americans are in a great amount of debt, like I said.
I love it.
Compared to...
Hold on, this is awesome. Hold on to Poppy Trust. Oh.
There's actually a documentary called In Poppy Trust, and it explains all the different points, how much money we could bring in, how the health benefits of weed, the comparison between, other things like tobacco and alcohol to weed being legalized, and that's an awesome documentary that I think everybody should watch. And my main point is that there's really no actual reason as to why marijuana should not be legalized. I could probably ask all of you to name a reason, and I could defend it. Marijuana is a natural thing. It's grown in the ground. As health benefits, it could bring in billions and millions of dollars. There's really no good reason as to why marijuana should not be legalized. So we as Americans in POP, we trust, and that's why marijuana should be legalized.